Hello everybody, welcome to Healthy Conscious. Thank you for clicking. My name is Nikolai. Today I'm going to talk about intermittent fasting. This is more from the weight loss perspective, not so much of the other health benefits that are said to be with intermittent fasting. I'm not an expert, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, so I really can't touch on these things. I don't know how true or not true, if they're myths or any of that, so I don't really want to touch it. If you are interested in that, there are plenty of things you could research to find out those health benefits. I'm purely talking about it from a weight loss standpoint. Now, a couple years ago, I started doing intermittent fasting. I don't currently do it, but that also doesn't mean that I'm against it. I don't really see it as being a sustainable way of dieting or a sustainable way of eating, but I think it can be used as a tool for weight loss. Little backstory, I just decided to try it. I did no other kind of diet with it. I was like, okay, I'm gonna try the 16-8 method, which is 16 hours fasted, 8 hours of an eating window, but I also didn't restrict what I was actually eating, and I did find a slight bit of weight loss when I did that. I really liked it at the time because I did feel like I could indulge. I could be, I didn't eat all day. Oh, my first meal. I'd be so excited for my first meal. So there was an appreciation of food that came with intermittent fasting. I looked forward to that first meal. But again, my first meal was never good for me. It was always high calorie, always, something I really craved and wanted. But I do feel, even though I was doing that, I was still consuming less calories because I was intermittent fasting. Then when I kind of started taking it on as a lifestyle, I did try certain things, like breaking my fast with bone broth and things like that. My opinion, these things are kind of gimmicky, but also if you do break your fast with bone broth, it's relatively low calorie. Therefore, you are likely to eat less calories if you kill a glass of bone broth. So I do think there are some benefits to doing it. When I say that intermittent fasting can be used as a tool, what I mean is, occasionally, say I just feel like my calories are a little higher than they should be, and by a little bit higher, I'm talking about a couple 100-calorie difference. Sometimes I'll choose to not so much restrict when I stop eating, but I'll restrict when I start eating. So I'll try to push my first meal just a little bit further or later, so I don't eat so early and I don't consume as many calories. I do find it as a tool to restrict calories. I think there are some mental things you could learn from doing intermittent fasting. You do have a little bit of a mind over matter thing going when you I don't eat till noon, and at 11 o'clock you're hungry, and you know that if I can eat, but why don't I just wait? So I advise people to try it, but don't look at it as a long-term solution. I think maybe your first week of a diet, if you were just to do it to kind of jumpstart your diet and then move into your standard way of eating 5 meals a day, I think that could be helpful. My thing is all about just trying things, right? Try it, see if you like it. If you don't like it, stop doing it. That's my best advice. If you try a diet and don't like it, stop doing it and try something else until you find what it is that works for you. In some cases, intermittent fasting is one of those things. If you want to go 30 hours without eating, it's not the lifestyle I want anymore. I've done it, and it's not as hard as you may think it is. Right off the bat, you think, oh, I couldn't go 8 hours without eating, and you totally could. Like most people do, they stop eating at like 8 o'clock. That way they have a few hours before they go to bed, they go to sleep, they get ready for work, and by the time they go to work, 12 to 13 hours of their fast has already been taken care of, and then when they go on lunch break at work, they break their fast. If you were to ask me, should I try intermittent fasting? I would say probably not, unless you are going to combine it with another type of diet. And by diet, I mean, I would say do calorie restriction and use intermittent fasting as a way to achieve that. I think, we get too caught up on some things that don't matter as much as calories. I would love to hear more from people about, their ways of losing weight and the successes they've had with especially non-calorie in versus calorie out type of diets. But I didn't feel any of the benefits that people say you do when you intermittent fast. Like, I felt no differently, just a little bit hungrier, and a tip is definitely green tea or black coffee is your friend. It's a perfect appetite suppressant. I would be hungry, and I don't like black coffee at all. It's disgusting to me, but I would just kill a cup, and I noticed right after I did that, I wasn't hungry and I was fine. Same thing with just killing water. Sometimes our mind confuses, hunger, for thirst or for, dehydration. So killing water and, just staying hydrated is very important if you're doing intermittent fasting. If I were to do any kind of fasting now as an aid for my fat loss and for my calorie deficit, I don't really do straight up fasting. I mean, I drink, my aminos and things like that. So I'm not truly in a fasted state when I'm fasting, and I'm not really concerned with that. All I care about is, am I restricting my calories? So that's another thing. You can use it to restrict calories, but you don't got to be mindful of the fact that you're not actually in a fasted state. By drinking those aminos, I've broken my fast. But I'm not looking for the additional fasting benefits, so it doesn't really matter to me. But yeah, this is just what I think. It's not definitive because I'm not an expert. I'm just a guy who does some things and they've worked, and trying to share those things with you and trying to find what works for you. And so this is what I have to say about intermittent fasting. I appreciate you checking out this video. If you like content like this, or you want to see some of the recipes I've used to lose a considerable amount of weight, please subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be releasing content. It's looking like 2 videos a week, 1 video like this and one of my recipes, and I'm also going to be doing some other content. So it'd be helpful to me if you like some of my videos, including this one you're watching now, and subscribe to my channel for further updates. That's all I got. Thank you.